7 Untold Secrets about the Pawn Stars cast. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. Number 1. Chumlee has gotten into some serious legal trouble.
A search of a home, and that could be just the beginning of troubles for one of the guys from Pawn Stars.
If you've seen the show, you know that Chumlee is something of a character. He is a bit of a punching bag to the other main cast members, but he does good work for the most part. He recently got into some serious trouble when his home was raided as Las Vegas police officers served a warrant in relation to a sexual assault case. While searching his home, they found methamphetamine, marijuana, and an unlicensed firearm. He was charged with at least 1 misdemeanor and a felony, but pled down the charges to attempted possession of a controlled substance. He was able to avoid jail time in lieu of probation and counseling. The news of Chumlee's arrest made the headlines, but it's not something anyone was going to bring up on the show. His work on the series wasn't interrupted, so it didn't make history's airwaves. Number 2. Rick married into a nasty situation. If you follow the show, you probably know that Rick Harrison got married to Deanna Burdett in 2013. For all intents and purposes, the couple appears to be doing well, and they couldn't be happier. Peel back a layer or two though, and you will find Burdett's ex, Richard Burdett, was recently convicted of forcible sexual abuse and dealing in materials harmful to a minor. Burdett was arrested and pled guilty in 2013, but he remains free. Rick has commented on the situation, saying that he hasn't served his time because of all the bureaucracy, and his protective nature over Deanna makes the whole situation very distressing for everyone involved. The mess surrounding Burdett has become a sore subject to Harrison, who would like to see him behind bars, so he and his wife can put the situation behind them. Number 3. They were sued for melting down gold coins. The Harrisons didn't name their store Gold and Silver because they hoped that one day they would get their hands on some. The trade of jewelry and coins makes up the bulk of theirs and pretty much all pawn shops' businesses. There are laws about what can be sold, melted down, and messed with when it comes to pawned and sold property, but the laws are different when it comes to gold coins, and that caused a serious problem for Rick and the gang. In 2014, the shop took in a small pile of gold coins valued at $12,375. Because the laws in Nevada don't require them to wait the normal 30 to 90 days before they can do anything with the coins, they melted them down. Unfortunately, the proper owner found out and sued the shop for the act. Regrettably for the owner of the coins, the law was not on his side. Number 4. Their friends are brought onto the show by producers. You ever notice how whenever something really strange comes into the shop, they always have an expert they can call? As we mentioned, they are on hand due to the producers who engineer everything. But what you may not know is that they are all hired onto the show by those producers. Essentially, a friend of the shop is someone the production company found and brought in to help out whenever needed. Granted, the guys became friends with most of these people, so calling them a buddy isn't necessarily wrong, but their appearance on the show isn't due to long-standing friendship. Also, they aren't paid for their services. Everyone who comes onto the show to offer their expertise does so to help promote their own businesses. While that sounds cheap of the producers, each one of them has benefited greatly from their exposure on the show. Number 5. The Pawn Stars don't actually work in the shop anymore.
The guys at Pawn Stars have seen and bought it all, and though they love wheeling and dealing, they don't love telling people that their treasured family heirlooms are worthless.
If you thought these guys were actually working in the shop on a daily basis like it's presented on the show, you would be very mistaken. Chumlee, Rick, Corey, and the old man are all wealthy celebrities whose presence in the shop is only necessary for the purpose of filming the show, which is not done on a daily basis. Because of their celebrity status, just being in the store has become a problem for Rick and the gang. People are always walking up to them, hoping to get selfies snapped or autographs signed, which for the most part, they are happy to do, but it deters regular business as well as the filming of the show. If you want to drop by the shop and meet any of the stars, you will need to check in advance what days they might be working there. Number 6. Corey and Chumlee have personal assistants. With all they have going on, both Chumlee and Corey have personal assistants who do most of their grunt and gopher work. Whenever you see Chum doing something on the show, it's probably not his normal repertoire. He would normally just send his assistant to do it. Again, this type of realism coming to light takes a little bit more away from the show's appearance. While they do own and operate the pawn shop, these guys have moved up in the world. Early in the show, Olivia Black was brought onto the night shift to work in the shop, and Chumlee was immediately attracted to her. That's not surprising. She's an attractive woman, but that is also a bit of a problem for history. As they said on Seinfeld, not that there's anything wrong with it, but Black posed nude for a tantalizing set of shots for Suicide Girls. When the photos came to light, history pulled the plug on her appearances on the show, which the shop and series took some flack over. What most people didn't know was that Black wasn't fired from her job at Gold and Silver, only from appearing on the show. It's a family program after all, and they couldn't and shouldn't have fired her from her job because of some photos. She didn't do anything wrong, but history has an image to uphold. Number 7. Chumlee cost the shop $20,000 once by breaking stuff.
Guy here. I got a guitar for you, man. Wow, what is this?
Part of Chumley's charm revolves around his decidedly immature nature and overall inability to properly do work. He's clumsy and tends to break things from time to time. Shortly before the episode aired, Chumley cost the shop $20,000 when he accidentally broke a vase someone had pawned to the shop for $700. By pawned, we mean it was pawned, not sold, so the owner intended to return to retrieve this item. After breaking the vase, Chumley stored the pieces back in the box and left it there, hoping nobody would notice. When the owner came back to collect his item and pay back his cash, Rick had no choice but to return the full value of the item lost. Somehow, Chumley still has a job, which just goes to show that friendship with an owner and his son helps you do something monumentally stupid. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.